One. Today is Thursday the 30th? No. I'm sorry, guys. Already it's just been one of those days, and I'm not sure why my date is messed up on my PowerPoint, but it is the 30th, not the 16th, and I very much, as always, appreciate your time and taking, a short half hour out of your busy days to listen into the weekly webinar. So, again, I do appreciate you giving me the time. I don't have a lot to discuss today, just a little bit of review, and hopefully you have some good questions because obviously I'm always anxious and willing to answer any questions that you have to help your experience be a little bit better because as we all know, things change very rapidly in this law that we are living with now. Just a quick reminder, our first bullet point is really about the close date for 3/1 effective dates, and that close date is, at this point, February 15th. So with Saturday being the 1st of February, it's definitely important to start reaching out to your clients that are on the fence about 3/1 effective dates and make sure that enrollment either inside the exchange or outside the exchange is taking place to secure that 3/1 effective date. Additionally, I just wanted to talk again about the CHIP program for parents of children up to the age of 19 that are within 314% of the federal poverty level. When applying on the federally facilitated marketplace, there is no choice other than to have those children excluded from the plans and enroll on CHIP, some level of subsidized CHIP, or if they are well below the 314 into the Medicaid system. So that's not something that there's a workaround other than to, if the parents want those children on their same plan and not in a CHIP program, they would have to make application outside the exchange. So hopefully that's pretty clear. I know it's a bit confusing, but the rules are the rules, and if you have additional questions on that, I'm certainly happy to answer them. EBIX update. Many of you use either our free quoting portal or the upgrade. The upgrade people are probably experiencing quite a bit of issues because the links that they have for enrollment with a carrier via their web page, those links are pretty much shot because all carriers are working through their new links, their agent-specific consumer links, and at this point, none of the carriers that are on our EBIX site include those. They're all working on them. As far as the free system, all of the 2014 rates and plans have been uploaded except for Independence Blue Cross, and they are working to upload those as we speak. So again, the system is getting a little bit better, but there are still some issues that need to be updated and carriers that need to be updated. So when you're working through our portal, if you come across a situation that doesn't seem right, rates or plan availability, shoot me an email or give me a call because nothing is perfect, and if there are issues, then we certainly want to bring that to our vendors' attention so that they can be corrected. The submitted questions, again, I had no submitted questions this week via the registration. So I am now actually going to open it up for the open forum. I did want to just do a quick reminder too about, on our homepage of our website, you can view any of our past webinars, not just through the Health Plan Options Division, but any of our webinars that the Life Markets or Annuity Solutions or the Senior Products Division offers. But, so all of our webinars are recorded and available on our homepage. Next week, next Thursday, not only are we going to have our weekly PPACA webinar at the same time, 9:30 on Thursday the 6th, but I am also running a Geisinger webinar from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we will have Chris Iorio and Craig Shively from Geisinger giving the presentation, and they're going to talk really about the Geisinger products, and where they're at with their direct enrollment link, and we'll be able to answer any questions on their products. And keep in mind, if agents that were selling the Geisinger products, if you recall, the only commissionable area was in the 9-county South Central area with Geisinger, even though their footprint extended certainly up into northeastern PA. As of January 1st, 2014, the entire footprint is now available for sale and for commissions, both on and off the exchange. They are coming in with very competitive rates and products, and I just thought it was definitely worth getting some product training out there to you, my agent partners, to help you with your sales and to figure out when the Geisinger programs would be appropriate for selling. So, again, if you've not registered, you can go to our homepage and to upcoming events and register for that event next Thursday. So without further ado, I'm going to see if we have any submitted questions via the portal, and we do have a couple, not many. Joe is asking, how can we get healthcare.gov to add insurance agents to the local help search? Obama should realize what agents can do to help increase the enrollment numbers. And Joe, that's a really good question. NAHU, the National Association of Health Underwriters, has been working directly with HHS on getting information, agent information into healthcare.gov for the agent search. Now, it is my understanding that the only agents that are listed on there would be agents that are affiliated with the Association of Underwriters. I'm going to do a little bit of more research on that, and I will get that information out to all of you. I will have that information certainly on next week's webinar, but I will also try to include any information in my newsletter. At this point, it's a new development, and I'm not sure of the requirements for being listed. So I will I'll get back to all of you on that. And as far as the second part to that question, Joe, if the president, the president has been pretty adamant about not realizing not only what agent partners and agents do in the market to help promote this law and sell the law and get even the numbers that they do have, but certainly isn't aware of what the law really, the ramifications of the law really are. So, we can work on that, Joe, but I'm not holding out any hope that he will have an epiphany. Chick is asking, what is the latest effective date a client can choose as an effective date and not have the individual mandate penalty tax applied? And that's a really good question, Chick, and I do believe that these goalposts are going to be moving, but the law says that a penalty, the individual mandate tax, will not be applied for those that are uninsured for a period of less than 90 days. So if you look at a period of less than 90 days, they really have to have coverage by 3/1, because going with a 4/1, that is going to be more than 90 days. The second part to that, Chick, is I'm not sure who's going to enforce that and what those guidelines really mean. And if the goalpost is moved for the enrollment periods, again, what does that mean for the tax? All I can say is at this point, according to the law, if they don't have coverage by 3/1, then they would be assessed the individual mandate tax. So that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, if somebody takes advantage of applying up to 3/31, they're going to get a 5/1 effective date. So another question really is, if they don't have coverage until 5/1, are they going to give them that 90-day leeway and only assess prorated tax for the 2 months, April and May, that they I'm sorry, yeah, April and May that they weren't insured. You know, that's a question I just don't know how to answer. But again, the law says a period of less than 90 days, they won't be assessed the penalty. So that is all of the questions. Okay, here's another one. Tracy asks, if a client takes a short-term insurance plan after the 3/1 date, will that give them credit to avoid the tax as long as it is in force for 3 months? No. A short-term policy is not considered qualified coverage. So if they have a short-term plan for 90 days and then get a PPACA plan so that they are insured for a period of less than 90 days on a non-qualified plan, then there wouldn't be a penalty. But if they're putting in the short-term to kind of transition them into a PPACA plan, and ultimately they are uninsured for a period of more than 90 days, then they would be assessed the penalty. Joe asks a question, if a customer can't prove citizenship or income as requested on the eligibility letter, will they be removed from the plan and lose the subsidy at some point during the year? Well, that is also a good question, Joe, and the way the FFM works is they don't allow the enrollment process, the plan decision or enrollment process to go through if there are outstanding requirements such as citizen or proof of citizenship or proof of income as requested by the FFM. They won't allow the second part, the actual enrollment, to take place. Certainly with the citizenship, income, proof of income is required with any subsidy determination. So if, for this situation, if a person has an outstanding requirement to the FFM to prove some sort of citizenship, such as a driver's license or, you know, a visa, whatever it is, and part of their eligibility determination also asks for income, then they have to get that citizenship in before, you know, again, before the second part of the enrollment takes place. Nate asks the question, any plans for Highmark product training? The plans are all over the place, and I have no idea what standard versus enhanced visits are. Also, what does community plan mean other than reduced commission? Well, Nate, we don't really have any specific plans, but I can certainly work on putting together a Highmark webinar. In a nutshell, the Community Blue plans all offer the enhanced versus standard network, and the enhanced network, it's kind of contrary to your thought process, but the enhanced network is the list of providers that your clients can use to obtain the highest level of benefits, meaning that it's a more restricted network, but those providers offer your client the lower end of the deductibles and the lower doctor visit copays, if that applies, or the greatest percentage of coinsurance. For instance, a Community Blue plan on the Silver plan for a $2,650 deductible, the enhanced deductible is $2,650, coinsurance is $70.30, primary visit copay is $40. If they use the standard network, they still have coverage, but that deductible then switches to a $5,300 single deductible. It's a 50/50 coinsurance as opposed to the 70/30, and the primary care visit copay is $70 versus the $40. So they're still covered. It's just that they get less benefit, if you will. And then you could actually say the third tier is non-network, and of course non-network has, you know, it's subject to usual and customary charges. Out of network coinsurance is 40%, so your client would pay 60% of the charges. So it's really important to make sure who is in that network for your clients. And the information on highmarkblueshield.com, at the very top of the screen, there's a doctor and RX lookup feature, and you can actually view the enhanced doctor network, provider network versus the standard, simply by choosing the Community Blue programs. So hopefully that helps. Margie asks, hypothetically, if the deadline goalposts are removed, what would be your guess as far as length of time for open enrollment? You know, Margie, there's a couple thoughts. You know, I don't think we're going to know anything until mid-March, but I would imagine that if HHS and the federal government does not get the numbers that they had anticipated, that they may just give 2014 as an open enrollment year. You know, that's definitely speculation. I've not heard anything definitive. This is just a guess. um, so open enrollment would really run through all of 2014 if that would happen. Again, we have to operate on the idea and the notion that nothing has changed, that open enrollment stops on 3/31, and until we hear otherwise, that's what we need to anticipate. Medio asks the question, why should agents do anything to help the government to put us out of the health insurance business? And that's a really good question, and I understand you know, the thought process behind that, but I would suggest to you that you know, the clients are still your clients, and we're not necessarily helping the government. We're helping your clients get the coverage that they are asking for. And with the number of people coming off of their health plans this year, or lost health insurance because of, you know, losing the health coverage or their coverage being canceled, the 50 to 100 million that are anticipated to be coming off of group health plans, the opportunity is there for you to earn commission by helping those clients both inside and outside the exchange. So really, it's an opportunity to gain these clients and earn a commission. So you're not necessarily helping the government. You're essentially taking advantage of the chaos within the market and treating it as an opportunity. And Margie says, yay, I cannot see why restricted open enrollment. Well, how is your RL oh, let me see here. She doesn't know why there is restricted open enrollment, and the process is that when the law was written, they wanted to make sure that there was not, you know, a loosey-goosey open enrollment period in which somebody could anticipate that they may have to have surgery in October of 2014 and just get insurance on 9/1 of 2014 or 10/1 for that matter, so that it covers those procedures and then they terminate coverage. So that's really the thought process behind a restricted enrollment period. And Margie also asks how we're making out with our integrated quoting portal with healthcare.gov in our quoting portal as a web broker. And the reality is that you know, the contracts are signed. It's just that everything is held up in CMS testing. So that's really where we're at right now. And Nate asks a question. Has any time frame been provided as to how long after submitting the additional information to the marketplace, visa income information, an applicant should be able to continue with enrollment? For the citizenship requirements, it takes about 2 weeks for somebody from uploading their information for the marketplace to recognize that it's accepted. So I'd say 2-week minimum is the time frame for them to accept it, realize it's there, and allow the process to continue. As far as income, and I know it was a bit confusing, but as far as income requirements, if you're talking about what's on the subsidy determination, everybody is required at some point within 2014 after enrollment to prove their income, and there's a deadline for that, and that's just a matter of submitting to HHS or the FFM the payroll, you know, any documentation of the 2014 income. So that portion shouldn't really hold up the enrollment. It's just that if there's no credit history and they're asking for tax information, then you're looking at, or you know, visa information for citizenship, you're looking about a 2-week process. It looks like that's all the questions. If anyone has any additional questions, go ahead and type them in now. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, doesn't look like anyone does, but again, I appreciate your time. Hopefully you'll log in next Thursday and on February 6th. Again, I apologize for the confusion on the dates. It is January 30th. I'm not losing my mind, or maybe I am. But again, thank you for your time, and I truly appreciate your support. And you know, again, we're all in this together, and hopefully we can get through these enrollments and be successful, all of us. So thank you again, and enjoy your day and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.